Hi, I'm Matt from CVG, and today we're going to do a comparison between the original Nintendo 3DS and the brand new Nintendo 3DS XL. Okay, so if we open these babies up, first thing to note, and probably one of the best new improvements, is the fact that the 3DS XL has like a 3-click soft lock. So there's 3 positions that it'll lock in place, whereas the original 3DS, a little bit flimsy and it only really has the 2 positions. One of the big differences is you've got this matte finish on the whole machine instead of the gloss finish on the original 3DS. It's especially noticeable on the top screen, where it used to be quite sort of a reflective, sleek look. Button layout is generally the same. I feel like the minor improvements to things like the D-pad, it's got a little bit more click to it. Circle pad still feels just as good. Button-wise, one of the biggest improvements by far is replacing the original sort of slightly cheap feeling sticky buttons that were down at the bottom there. These feel, they're still a bit plasticky, but they've got a bit more give to them. One of the other things to notice is that the display lights are all visible from the front of the machine as well, rather than being visible just from the side, which is quite handy. And another big difference is the 3D slider, which now actually has to be clicked off at the bottom if you want to turn 3D off altogether. A couple more cosmetic changes. The speaker design seems to have changed slightly. Volume output seems to be largely the same when we compared the two. And another slight difference is in the board around the touchscreen. Slightly more ergonomic design, a little bit easier to clean, and also the touchscreen just in general feels a little bit more solid than it used to. Other changes include the earphone socket moving slightly to the side. It was originally in the middle there. And the other big change, which is quite a useful one, is that the stylus has now moved onto the side. And it's no longer retractable, but the full length one just fits inside there, which is a lot easier to get to. Okay, so let's get the most obvious stuff dealt with now, the new screen sizes. So if we look at the 3DS XL, that's got a much bigger touchscreen, clocking in at 4.18 inches across diagonally. And if we compare that to the original 3DS, it's only got a 3.02 inch screen. And of course the stereoscopic screen has increased in size as well. So on the 3DS XL it is now clocking in at 4.88 inches across. And on the original 3DS it's only 3.53. Another big selling point, which is quite brilliantly illustrated by my 3DS here, is that the battery life on the original is much worse than it is on the 3DS XL. So on the original 3DS you could be looking at a battery life from between 3.5 hours to 6.5 hours. On the 3DS XL it can be anything between 6 to 10, so again that's a huge increase. Okay, so let's close these up and have a final look at what they look like shut. So first thing you notice is that the 3DS XL is a lot smoother, slightly sleeker, feels a bit sort of more like an Apple product or a Filofax or something. And if we look at the sides, they're comparable in depth, but the 3DS XL has lost the sort of 3-tier sandwich design of the original 3DS. And if we compare the overall size, you'll see that the 3DS is significantly smaller, but in terms of the increased screen size, there isn't a huge amount of difference. And especially in the weight, the difference between the two is fairly negligible, with the 3DS XL coming in at 336 grams, whereas the original 3DS was 235, so barely noticeable really. Okay, we'll flip these around to the back now for one final look, and you'll see that the charge location is still in the same place. At this point it's worth mentioning that the UK 3DS doesn't come packaged with the charger, so you'll need to find one from somewhere else. But just generally you can see the 3DS XL just feels chunkier. The L and R buttons are a bit more solid, and certainly when you hold it in your hands it feels like a more robust machine. Okay, so that's pretty much it. It feels quite good. It feels like a significant hardware revision. It's quite nice to hold. It's a decent size. It's worth bearing in mind that because of the increased size of the screen, the resolution drops ever so slightly, and the screen may look slightly darker as well, but it's not a huge difference. It's £179.99. Bear in mind that you will have to add a charger to that, and if you choose to in the future, the Circle Pad Pro. And as soon as the Circle Pad Pro is available, we'll do another video showing you what it looks like and how it feels. Okay, so there you have it. That's the 3DS XL. We'd be really interested to hear what you think about it, so please comment below and stay tuned to CVG for more hardware comparison videos in the future. Thanks very much.